we go. Like my stuff is just, I'm just adjusting. Alrighty. So, I already went for my walk and everything. Let's see here. Go ahead and grab your coffee, tea, whatever. I've got my healthy shit that I am drinking. The thing that I was getting before I came in was this, like someone going, "You good? You in line with the plan?" That kind of thing. Like almost like somebody has proposed something and like, "You good? You in line?" That kind of thing. But it didn't feel. It kind of felt like they were like somebody had declared something with spirit. Like it felt like spirit. Now, for some people, it may not, but it felt like there wasn't another party there. That like they're going, "You in line with me?" Like somebody said, "This is what I'm going to do. This is what's going to happen. Are you on board?" That's what it felt like. So I was like, "Oh," and it just kept repeating, "Are you in alignment with me? Are you in alignment with that? Are you?" I was like, "Okay." So that's where we're starting. That's where we're going to start. I brushed my teeth. Holy shit. And you know how like after you brush your teeth, like the flavor of certain things get really like, woo, baby. So that's where I'm at. Okay. All right. Let me kind of fill out where we're going to start. Okay, so they're pulling me the divine doors, but I am having this whole like attitude inside of me that's like, I'm serious about this. I don't want no frou-frou shit. Like don't give me no fluffy smoke up my ass kind of response. Like I'm being serious about this. Like why are we getting all like, ooh, this is, kind of thing. So I'm gonna pull it. Yes, I'll tell you what. And it can wreak so much havoc. Oh my God. So yeah. But maybe not drink it right after you've brushed your teeth, because brushing your teeth and then drinking something, everything tastes weird right afterwards. So I'm just saying, but I had coffee. So you brush your teeth in the morning and then you have something and then you got to get it off your tongue and everything else like that. And then you keep going. I don't know. So yeah, that was me. Here we go. Okay. So here's the thing. You're like, you in line? You on board? It felt like whoever I was picking up on was kind of talking to spirit. Like, all right, so I've already laid it out. This is the thing. You good? You on board? Are we doing this? That kind of thing. It's like a check-in. Like, I don't feel like the other person is kind of like gets much of an option, or the other energy or whoever someone's talking to gets much of it. Like the only option they get is they're in or they're out. Like there's no like, no, this is happening. You good? You in? Yeah. Okay. It's three-eyed raven. It says prepare for the unexpected. It's literally like as sunrise hits upon the dew, a messenger raven calls out with news. Now the raven usually represents spirit, so it's almost like spirit saying, get prepared for the unexpected, or like a message is coming your way from spirit, or spirit is telling you a message is coming your way. And it says Anthony's call. Everything that's lost can now be found. We did talk yesterday about recuperating, like the things that someone had lost, they get to recuperate something. That might have something to do with it. I wonder if, okay, and then a distant dream. So it says, the distance calls your heart to roam free. They're calling me to distance. But I don't think they're like, oh, out of reach type of dream. I feel like they're actually talking about distance. And it says, as you dare dream it, so must it be. So it's literally like, The only thing that creates that distance between you and something else is your inability to let your heart run free, like to allow your heart to believe it. Okay, like if you just give yourself over to it completely, because as you dare dream it, so must it be. So like it is so this is a response from spirit. I feel like spirit's about to respond to whatever somebody has decided something and said, you know what, this has to be, this is this. And I feel like somebody even got very specific about something, because it sounded like a plan. You on board? And it's almost like spirit's like, oh, you just wait. You'll see how on board I am. And it's literally like, you're going to get everything that you just asked for, all the shit that you've been missing. And then it says, because you dare to call it into existence, because you dare to believe it, because you declared it, it will be. I don't know about you, but I don't usually get a response from spirit like that. But here's the thing. I feel like it's, you know how like there's that story where, someone is like, it's a Christian story, and it's like someone's praying to spirit, praying to God, and asking for help, right? And so like a stranger comes to the door, and they get turned away, and then another stranger comes to a door and they get turned away. And so this person keeps turning people away, and it's like, why did you leave me? And spirit's like, I sent 3 people. I showed up to you in the form of other people, and you turned me away. So this almost sounds like spirit is going to respond to you through the actions or through an event that includes other people. And so the thing is, you got to remember this. If something presents after you've already declared something and you said this has to be, and you believe it, then when something shows up, you need to recognize that that's the answer, that the answer is coming in. That, like, I don't know why sometimes we dismiss things, because we're like, and that may have been a pattern before where you dismiss stuff, and it was like, that was the answer. That was the way to get exactly what you wanted. Like you totally, like, people have preconceived notions of how something's going to come in. Let's say they say something like, I'm going to get a job offer that I only have to work 15 hours a week and I get paid this amount of money. And so then somebody presents a job and you're like, ew, no, not that. I would never have to do that. Like, that's like, and spirit's like, the fuck? Seriously? And so I think that what we need to be cognizant of here right now, in the present, is that somehow something that you've committed to, that you have, it's like you've wholeheartedly said, claimed something. Okay, this is what's going to happen, and like there's no other if, ands, or buts. This has to happen, or this is what I'm going to choose, or this is what the path I'm going to take, or this is the and I almost feel like somebody has chosen several things. Like, no, this has to happen in order for me to do this and this and this, and like there's just no doubt anymore within a person. They're just like, no, it just is, which would to me say that the mind and the heart are kind of in alignment for this. And so if you've declared something and you said, and you have no doubt, and you're like, yep, that has to occur, it's almost like you put your order in then, right? And so you got to be ready for when the order arrives. Now, this isn't going to be something where, like, I don't feel like you're going to be like, oh, no. I think you're just going to be like, no, I don't think that's it. And like, you're going to hold out, or you might like, they're telling me that's the energy of the past. Like, you have literally dismissed things before. Almost that pros and cons thing where something shows up and you're like, you think of all the ways that couldn't be and couldn't lead to what you've asked for. But you really probably didn't give much thought to how it could. Yeah, somebody just has like this airy fairy, like, I swear somehow somebody thinks like when they've declared something before, they thought exactly the way that it's going to come in. Like, you can be specific without being attached to a narrative. Does that make sense? So Yeah. I just want to say the answer to what you're asking for, the answer to what you declared, the answer or the path, it's going to appear. Don't do what you've done before. Don't do the pros and cons list of like only thinking of the cons, and don't automatically assume no, that's not it. Like spirit wouldn't send me something looking like that. You know what I mean? And the thing is, the funny thing is, I don't think it's negative looking. I gotta be honest with you. I'm like, I get no red flags where you'd be like, oh, or anything that elicit fear. You just like, okay, so this is what they're showing me, and obviously this isn't logical, but it's like, when the homely person shows up, and they don't look like they're a CEO, and so you just don't believe it when they're like, oh, I've got a job for you, and you're like, oh my god, you know what I mean? They don't look the part, and you're like anything of merit, spirit would send me and it would look like this, kind of thing. And it's like, no. Okay. It's a don't judge a book by its covers, because in actuality, spirit's like, you have no clue. You've been fed shit from media and culture and, whatever, like these airy fairy things. There's like this whole study out where they say, or there's a saying, I don't know if they actually studied it, but they talk about people who want to be rich, try to dress rich and expensive, and then people who are like, billionaires, like wear the most plain clothes, like they're uninterested in labels and different things like that. Like that's not what, you know what I mean? And so they don't look the part, you know what I mean? It's like they don't feel the need to display it. And so it's one of those things where it's like, just be aware that whatever you think something's going to look like, it won't, right? Okay. Yeah. You think somebody from LA is going to call you, right? Not a scout that looks like Joe Schmo, that looks like they're kind of creepy, because you're like, there's no way. You're just trying to be sleazy. You're just trying to be whatever. And it's like, they're really a scout. You ever look at the people that work behind the scenes in Hollywood? At no point do they look the way that we see Hollywood look on the red carpet. Just saying. Just reminding you. So recognize that you may have been brainwashed into the way something would look when it arrives. That maybe energetically you are, but like your brain's going to go, I don't know. And here's the thing. They could come up to you and say, hey, I'm a scout. I think you'd be perfect for this part. Blah, 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 blah. We've been trained to be so skeptical for a good reason. There's been some shitty shit and shady people. I mean, people are fraud has like increased massively, right? But we kind of like, there's a way to test things out, to protect yourself and still be open to something instead of just shutting it down. So if Joe Schmo off the street hands you a card and says, hey, get in contact with me. Well, first off, the power's in your hands then, right? Don't just automatically like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of that. Something has been brushed off before that may have presented itself. And I got to be honest with you, this is where sometimes tarot readers will say, oh, you were being tested. Because if you don't take it, Spirit's not going to shove it down your throat. They're going to, oh, not ready. Okay. Thought you was. Sorry. You asked for it, so And so it's one of those things where it's like, you may be more objective now, but something's going to come in. Like, you've declared it, and there's a level of certainty within your energy. And they're like, okay, be ready. Be ready for it. And so you will get a message. You will get something unexpected. And I think, oh, that's it. Yeah. That's what they're trying to highlight, the unexpected part, because it literally says prepare for the unexpected. I think the whole thing is wrapped up in something that's unexpected, like the way that it presents. And then because it presents a certain way, you're like, oh, okay. And then you go with it just to, might as well. And it turns into something else. You're like, oh, you are pleasantly surprised, they say. Okay. As you dare dream it, so must it be. And so as long as you believe that it's possible and that spirit's going to come in and answer it, you remain in the energy of like a positive form of expectation, right? You just believe. And so you won't be so dismissive. This is a whole, like, whatever's lost will be found. So I think what they're saying is because this opportunity or this answer to something that I feel like you've made a full circle. Like, you've claimed this before. Maybe you were wishy-washy, on the fence, but you've claimed it and you wanted it to happen. It showed up. And because you weren't solid in your energy, you questioned things, you dismissed it, you didn't do it. It didn't look a certain way. So you didn't go there. Right. So there was more evolving that was involved. So this is like a second time around, like somebody's shown up to your front door a second time. They've been here before. And so it's like, it's that type of energy. And if we were talking about you all being in that chaotic energy because other people, like, yeah, it's piggybacking a little bit of yesterday. I feel like it's just got a little bit of yesterday. It's like when you were in that chaotic energy, it made it very difficult to recognize what showed up. And we did talk about yesterday, the second reading was like, your intuition is so on point now. I think the Hanged Man came out, your vision, your understanding of it is going to be different. You're going to see things you didn't see before, and you're going to know how to operate. So with the lack of chaos, it's almost like this is the prime opportunity for this to come in, because God knows other energies have attempted to thwart you before. And then of course life, and you just, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just right now is the right time. You'll recognize it. You'll see it. Spirit can answer it. You've declared it again. You believe in it again. I feel like you might have gotten shaky on it for a period of time. And so it's coming in. Okay. Okay. All things that are lost so can be found. It's got a lot of lemon in it. And then fulvic acid. It's good, but not, my tongue tastes like toothpaste still. Okay, so let's find out a little bit more about this. Okay, we're going to start with Madame Adore's fortune telling cards. This is as plain as can be. And the energy I got when somebody declared something, it was like, yeah, we're not waiting anymore. This is the plan. Okay, you good? All right, let's go. It felt very like Emperor take charge type of energy, not waiting. It feels like a good energy to be in. And the funny thing is, because I said there were some specifics, it felt like somebody got very specific about what it is that you want. And I think that means, one, you're not wishy-washy anymore. You're of one mind. You're like, yes, I knew it. This is the way that it has to happen in order for it to pop off. So yes, this is what I'm asking for. I think before you were like, this, but whatever. You're trying to be amenable in the flow, but really it was doubt that was coming through. You tried to shade it like, oh, I'm trying to be in the flow. Whatever spirit feels, I'll go along with it. And it's like, no, that's doubt. I can see through that bullshit. You're saying that just in case. Well, I'm going to throw this word out there just in case. Because, if it doesn't come through, then it's like you were giving yourself an out. You're giving yourself a way to not feel like something failed. So it was like, Spirit's like, we're not doing this. You were on the fence last time and you fucked it up. What do you want? How are we doing this? In fact, I think Spirit's known what you wanted. It was like, how can we get you there? And there's been this evolution of deciding, right? And by all means, I don't think that you narrated every single detail, but I think that you've got bullet points. You know how before you start a story, you do an outline? I mean, the whole story's not there, but you kind of know the flow. You realize this, and this have to happen. I get it, And so those are things that you can count on. So I don't want you to feel like I feel like those things will get, it's like checked off. Oh, 30 weeks. Oh, Kelsey, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this because, I know what it's like being pregnant and having a baby bump, but like if by any chance you've got a really great photo of your baby bump and you want to share it in the private thread, I would love to see it. I would not be the one to sit there and touch your belly unless you let me. I'm like, oh, you do, baby. How will you do it? I guess me. But I know not to touch also. I'm just saying. That almost came out. The unicorn. Okay. Good fortune and friendship. It's funny. I just said, I feel like you have, like your mind and your heart came in, are one. I think what they're saying is, again, as you dare dream it, so must it be. So they're saying you're still a little protective of yourself. And you might try to do that whole little out again. Well, okay. Well, if we can't be like that, then we'll do like this. No, stand your fucking ground. Okay? Align your heart with what your brain knows needs to happen. You've been around this block once, maybe twice, and you're like, yeah, no, I was right. That has to happen first before this can happen. Like, there's just certain things we just know. We have wisdom too, guys, okay? And so we're like, oh, yeah, okay. And it's better to be like that in some respects, without being too stringent on particulars. It's really great to be like that because basically you won't be wishy-washy then. And I think that was the problem before because it literally says down here, seek a union of mind and heart. And so they're like, your brain knows now. Your brain fucking knows now. You're like, yeah, you declared it. So now make sure that your heart stays in alignment. Don't go back to it probably isn't going to do that. Well, if it's not, then just do it like this. Like, don't give them a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. At this point, you're so far along on the path, stick with what you've already said. Okay? I think sometimes we think when we say, well, something might show up in a different, it means that anything that you've declared is not going to happen and it's going to look completely different and you have no clue what's going to be. That's not the case. Just be aware, like we go to extremes. Our brain will take shit to fucking extremes. Like, we forget that this and this can be true at the same fucking time. It's like, oh, well, you said this, so then this can't be. And it's like, what the fuck? Okay, so here's the unicorn, and that is the good fortune and friendship. True love and fidelity. Okay, so they're bringing me to the fidelity piece. Like, one, you're going to love what happens. I think that's what it is. The fidelity is you can trust it. I can't answer just yet. I can't answer it just yet. That's going to be a long conversation. I'll have to call them back. True love and fidelity. So it's like, it's trustworthy. It's integral fidelity. Like, it'll be around. And so for me, this is just saying, they keep bringing me to the unicorn though. And remember, I really like the unicorn in the Secret Tarot because it's not unicorn, it's called the Strength card. But the Strength card in the Secret Tarot has a unicorn instead of a lion because it's owning your weird. It's owning the thing that stands out. It's the pie in the sky kind of energy, dream, right? And so it's like surrounding this is the idea that there's going to be a lot of good fortune that develops from this. You're going to love it. You can trust it. And something about how something that presents, again, brings in not just fortune, but soul tribe, the support system. I don't know why they're bringing me to this one, but it's locked doors can now be opened. So let's go back to the 3 cards. It is a messenger raven calls out with news, prepare for the unexpected. It's just going to show up in a way that you may have dismissed previously, but it's actually exactly what you want. And then you only dismissed it previously because you were so wishy-washy, you weren't quite sure, you were in the K-Duck energy, you're not there anymore. So just realize, like when you've asked for something, it's going to show up, right? And like that story, when you answer the door, you have to recognize that spirit is going to show up in the form, and that may be what this friendship card is, show up in the form of other people. Like, spirit's not going to just walk up to your door and then like knock on it and be like, yo, hey, see my angel wings? This is what's about to, let me give you this. It's like, or it's the idea or the notion of like, it'll just fall in my lap. So I'll play this ticket and I'll win the lottery and it'll all be great. And it's like, that's not necessarily. And you may have wanted to stick with the very simplistic answers like that, like, oh, I'll just win the lottery, because it required too much discernment on your point and you were in a chaotic energy and you were wishy-washy, so you knew that you couldn't really tell. And so, and it's true, you couldn't, and you didn't. But locked doors can now be open, okay? Okay, so this thing showing up slightly like it's something you've dismissed before, and I'm not going to say it's going to show up exactly that way, but it is something that because they tried to come around before and it was dismissed because of the chaotic energy, you couldn't tell if it was for you or not, blah blah blah. And it's like it's going to absolutely happen, and whatever it is going to recoup some of the things that you've lost. So let's get to the whole. I want to talk about the messenger, like the news that's going to come in, and the unexpectedness. We're going to focus on the three-eyed raven right now. Starman Tarot. Hey, Alyssa. Wait, what? I just came on and you were in the middle of saying something about a baby bump. Ironic, because today is my oldest son's birthday and I pulled out pics to show him. One was right before I went to the hospital to have him with my bump, and there's an orb I've never seen on it before. Ooh, I like that. Aww. How old is your oldest one? Mine is going to be 20 this year. Okay, bitches. Oh, this is pretty big. I don't know if you are imagining something showing up maybe they're just trying to hype it up. I don't know, but this feels very, very, very big. When I'm asking what the news is and prepare for the unexpected, we've got the world. I scraped myself. When you go hiking and you touch stuff, and trees and all kinds of stuff. The world. And with the world, I shit you fucking not, justice. And what's funny, they're bringing me to the numbers. Down here, it's XXI. And over here, it's XI. I feel like they're bringing out like an 1111 type of energy. Because if I were to cover up one of those X's, we got the XI, which, anyway, 11. Okay. It ushers in a lot. It actually brings in a lot. It opens, the world opening up locked doors. Again, the balancing of the mind and the heart. I feel like, here's the thing. If you can just hold on a little bit to at least not letting yourself dip into the back and forth of stuff, because I get the energy of, like, there's going to be a bit of healing in this whole constantly feeling like your heart wants to jump, like wants to lean towards disbelief because it doesn't want to get hurt again. There's something very healing about something finally coming through. This also feels like it's much more expansive and more than you were anticipating, which we've talked about before. And I think what they're saying is again, you might try to dismiss it, but it's like once you agree to it or once you engage with it, then you see how big it's going to be. You're like, oh shit. Like the recognition of what can come from it. Ace of Cups. It's like your cup is restored, is what I heard. Your cup is restored. There's something more that's meant to come out. I think first off, we're going to talk about justice. That's the cup that's restored. There's something more with the World card. It's not the same old, like, something's ending, something's blah, 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 blah. It's super expansive. It ushers in like a whole different journey. Yeah, Ace of Cups and Temperance card, I feel like are going hand in hand. Your cup is going to be full now. It restores your cup. Sorry, they corrected me. It restores your cup. That's the Justice, which I think now means that's what brings your mind and your heart into balance, because now your heart can believe what your mind has already said is. So they're talking, okay, we're not even on the World yet. Okay, guys, we'll get to the World card. They're talking here, Two of Swords, and then the Page of Pentacles, or not Pentacles, Page of Swords. Two of Swords, Page of Swords. Having to make a decision in regards to this, right? In regards to the news that comes in. I'm trying to see if there's a way we can find out, like, in what way does it look slightly different than what you imagined? Because you're at least not in the energy of going to like think of all the negative right off the bat, and you're going to get a nudge. Okay, two of Swords is usually like the two swords, two truths, or two things that can be true at the same time, and so you have to kind of like, they might be a little bit conflictual, and so you have to go intuitively and make a decision between two things, right? So that's kind of like the Two of Swords for me. In this is there's your intuition is definitely going to help highlight what this is, and whether or not you should take it when you're making that decision. Okay. Because of the way that it's going to appear. How is it going to look different though? Like I'm asking, like, what's one versus the other? Like, how are you anticipating it's going to show up, and why does it look different than what you have anticipated? Okay. I just set her to look again. Hold on 1 second. And show me pictures. Give me just a moment. I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to tell me with this shit. I'm not there quite yet. They're showing me this. I'm like, my human is struggling right now. They're showing me this, which looks like a pyramid. And then they're showing me like a modern day city. And so they're almost showing me like ancient wisdom versus modern wisdom. Like being one and the same. We've got Two of Pentacles, where it's like, again, not one is more important than the other. Like they're equally like, it's not a choice between the one path versus the other. Maybe they align. Like maybe there's some kind of like tried and true wisdom being expressed in a modern way. They want you to see it differently. the Hanged Man. They want you to get see something differently. There's a different perspective. Go about it differently. See it differently. Oh, they just said like there's your decision. Like maybe when it first presents, you can't tell whether it is how is this any different. Like I think there's like a sense of like how is this, like not being able to see how it's going to take you where you're wanting to go, because then they just corrected me and they said conventional wisdom versus, conventional wisdom says this, and with this it's like how things have always been done versus the wave of the future, the way that they're going to go. And so it's literally like, get it, like maybe look at it differently. Don't look at it through the lens of conventional wisdom. This is something that's like projected into the future. Like maybe it doesn't align with how you've been taught or what you can see currently as the like a decade ago, there was a recession in the United States, and no one could ever see that millionaires would be made online. They couldn't fathom it, right? And all of a sudden, when all these people and companies started shutting and closing down and weren't able to do things, they were so stuck in this rigidity of how things had always been. And people came along and started making money in new and varied and different ways. And it was like, it broke the mold. It defied conventional wisdom. And so it was like the wave of the future is to do it like this. There's something about whatever's presented may be more aligned with how things will be done in the future than it is now. So there may be little evidence that it is at this point going to take you where you think you want to go. And it's like, don't use the standards of conventional wisdom in which to gauge something, which is why I think why they're bringing you back to the don't do the pros and cons, only see the cons, because you're not going to be able to understand what the pros are because this is new. So it feels very new. Like you probably wouldn't be able to find the data to back it up. Like this is like taking risk, thinking outside the box. It's the wave of the future. You know what I'm saying? And so you might have to stop and go in, right? Because the Page of Swords, you have to use your intuition to make this decision. And then we've got the King of Swords, where he makes the decision with all the information involved, like wholeheartedly moves forward on something. But this is how you get to the energy of being able to do that. King of Swords, decisive. It's like you'd have to look at patterns. Yeah, I just want to say it's not conventional wisdom, or the paradigm in which we exist on how to make money is not really applicable to how you should make your decision. It's like aligning yourself with how things always have been or how you want things to be in your life. Are you going to make the choice or decision to engage in something because there's risk to it? Because I don't have any data that I don't have anything existing in my repertoire that tells me that's going to be successful. Okay. And it's almost like that's why they're saying, as you dare dream it, it seems like a distant dream. The distance calls your heart to roam free. It's most certainly something you're not familiar with. I think socially, and that might be where they're pulling me in on the unicorn. Like they really, really wanted me to pay attention to the unicorn. Like I pay attention to the word down here, the unicorn. Like it's so unique. It's so different. It's owning the different. It's aligning with the different. So it's not conventional. Whatever it is, it's not conventional. So that's the reason why it shows up not how you're expecting, because your brain, your ego is going to paint it in a way that it seems like, oh, that's plausible because that's happened before. And it's like, and so by believing in the possibility of something that, yeah, that's why they're saying you being open, allowing your heart to believe in this is very important. You need to weigh out or balance out the strength and the weight of your brain and how it's going to, you know what I mean? And so they're like, there just feels like there's an energy about you where you're in the might as well, why not? It's almost like before you get too analytical again. This needs to come in. Okay, so what about the world card? Why are we... So that's where it's like the difference. Like when they say it's unexpected, like something's going to come in. I can already tell it's from taking action on this by choosing this particular action, going this route, is where you're able to put all those burdens down, where it no longer feels like you're carrying some kind of like the weight of the world on your shoulders. Unconventional. That is just ringing in my head so much now. I'm over here asking about the world. Spirits just keeps talking. And I'm like, I still don't understand how this is related to the world. Are we on the world? Or are we still on your little trajectory? I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out. Because sometimes when I talk, shit comes through and I'm like, makes sense. Okay. So the first two things were, and it was very plain. It's almost like they just gave me a sentence. The Two of Wands, which is taking an action on something like a new beginning. The Ace of Wands is a new beginning, a new project, a new passion, a new trajectory. Something that sparks your interest, something that's new. And then the Two of Wands is, I'm going to take action on it. I choose how to take action on it. But the choice, I feel like, is to actually go for it, to take action on it. And then we got the Ten of Swords, which is that whole, like, I think that goes along with the energy of why not. Like, you've kind of, like, hit that place where you're like, well, might as well. I mean, because you just, Ten of Swords, the only way is up, right? Like it couldn't get any worse than this type of feeling. It's like you're done, crispy, burnt, done. Like just fried, crispy, burnt, done kind of thing. And so I think that's also partially why this is like the heels of coming out of the chaos and being like, you know, when I talk about being in the pressure cooker and you stay in there for so long, you eventually surrender instead of fighting it. It's like being in the raging rapids, and that you do better if you don't fight it. It's like when the undertow takes you at the ocean, and it's better, instead of trying to fight it to get to the top, you just let it flow and it'll take you there. And I feel like you're just like, you know better than to fight against something anymore. And that's what allows you to, that energy is what allows you to take a risk, take a chance. And then we got over here, we got the Four of Cups, which is usually about being in that space, that liminal space where you're like, whatever is here is not for me. And so that's why something else has to come in. And I want you to think about that when this presents, when it defies conventional wisdom, when it doesn't fit a mold and you're a little like, I don't know. Ding, 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 ding. We're in that they just said era. We're in that era where that's going to pay off. And so I see this like, and it's funny. Oh, it's so funny. Because usually what comes out of the sky is a cup, right? But what's coming out of the sky in this one is your heart. It's like this just aligns really well with you. I feel like this is and this is why you're gonna love doing this. You have attempted so much. And what's so funny about this one is all the fucking 4 cups are just like, you know what I'm saying? Usually there's 3 cups you're like, I don't want, and the 4th one comes out, and it's like you may have even tried something that you felt like spirit was guiding you to at some point, right? And so, but whatever this is that's coming is in alignment with your heart and soul. Like you're gonna love this. Give as much weight to that as this. You're just in the energy of really being willing to listen to this because you're too tired. 10 of Swords, too tired of this. You're just, okay. You don't give too much weight to it right now. 4 of Wands. You'll find something worth celebrating, but I feel like that Temperance card, that balance, the all things that are lost so can be found is exemplified by the. Sorry, they're trying to tell me something else in the midst of me trying to say something else. Oh my God. What was I saying? Fuck. It's like, it's cliche, but by going with what speaks really highly to your heart or just excites you, or, you know, that's the thing. That's the thing. Basically, what's coming in defies convention. You probably could come up with a million things as to why it wouldn't work. You're too exhausted at this fucking point. You're like, huh. Because you're so sick and tired of the overanalysis, the paralysis, the fear, the whatever. It's like you're just not giving that any kind of energy. And so your heart has a platform to really speak up and be like, why not? You know what I mean? And you go for it. And you will have reason to celebrate. Oh, we had that card yesterday, celebration. Reason to celebrate by doing that. Okay, we're going to go with the World and pick a different deck and see what it says. So to me, whoever said, Spirit, you on board? Spirit's on board. Spirit's on board. Get ready. Okay. Yeah, Medic Tarot. And then we might pull a couple of the others. So this just seems like they're just talking to you. They're like, oh, we're on board. Just prepare for this. It's like addressing. Okay, I'm trying to. Sorry, I'm dropping a million things down there. Like the level of confidence. Queen of Wands. I heard, let this come to you. And then I heard, it's almost the energy of, you know, some of those people you're like, when you first meet them and they just come across like they're so confident and you're like, you're wondering, do you have reason to even be that confident? Like you don't really know them. So you're like, it's like hold that energy. Hold that level of, this one came out. It's weird. For the 4 of Pentacles, I think this goes with the 4 of Wands, like it brings you back into balance. It brings a stability. But it's funny because down here it says Lord of earthly powers. And I'm over here like the level of confidence and it is like standing in your power. It's like the level of confidence you have with something that defies conventional, doesn't necessarily fit a mold. This could be as simple as you going into something that people feel is not. It would be like a man going into nursing. People will always say some shit. Like, that's not really a man's job. And, the conventional wisdom of like, why would you do that? It defies something. And because we got the Four of Pentacles, which is, it brings everything back into balance. It brings financial stability. This is the energy of having enough that you can save, because in the traditional Rider-Waite, she's holding onto that pentacle, and it's like she's not willing to let some of it go. It's like it's a type of stability that will be lasting, which we had over here. But then we have the Nine of Pentacles. There's a level of freedom, and that might be what the World card is talking about. The World card is things are suddenly at your fingertips. Like, you're able to maneuver, stand in your power, not second guess yourself. It's like attract and pull things into you. I heard make things happen. Okay. And this does say material gain right here. So it gives you, they just said a word and I'm over here, affluence. Like you get, I know what affluence is. I'm like, are you meaning influence? Like you have I just feel like this is saying like what you have said, in order to achieve in this time is not going to fit conventionality. Is that a word? Am I making words up? I feel like I'm making words up right now. Okay. We have the Queen of Swords with the Strength card, which we've talked about. I was talking about that one. It's like have the courage to execute something. I know this sounds really morbid because there's like a severed head over here, and they're like execute, like to follow through with something, right? I'm like, and it's like not allowing what stopped you before, that little cons list, that little like, there's no way it would show up like this. The answer wouldn't show up like this. Just not allowing that to stop you. It's having the bravery to execute something, to follow through. The bravery to follow through. Okay. I don't know why. Bravery to follow through. That keeps repeating. We're going to close out with the Moon deck. So I think someone else, when you're saying, are you on board? Spirit's like, yeah, are you? Like, yeah, you just got to follow through. Like, it's all good in the hood is what I want to say. You have to be prepared for the answer to seem like it's a distant dream. It's like it calls your, it's like, just believe in the possibility. Dreamweaver. I don't think that was meant to come out. That doesn't feel right, actually. The whole book. It feels like they stuck together, which, by all means, if they're meant to come back out, they will. Third one. Okay. Well, Blood on the Moon came back out, so obviously that's something that maybe that was what was trying to come out, and it took with it the other fucking cards. All right, let's just get through this really quick. So, you know, I mean, when Spirit wants to throw a little bit extra in, it's like they answered, but you know, it's I don't know. They feel like they're asking you, are you ready? Okay, because okay, I've been on board. I don't know. So let's get the Dreamweaver. Baby. Dreamweaver. Goal setting, action, and effort. Ooh. Which we said you've already done this. It says, reminding you to determine your own path through life because to a large extent, your destiny is in your hands. Which you've already said, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And they're like, okay. You've not gotten too specific, but you've gotten specific enough where you're not wavering and waffling and all that kind of shit, right? This is the antithesis of just drifting through life, expecting everything to just come to you. We said that Spirit's not going to show up to your door. And growing increasingly resentful towards those who go out and make things happen for themselves. It's telling you to take charge of your destiny by setting a few goals, which you did, and working steadily towards them. Don't be one of those people who constantly complains that they can't catch a break or get a foot in the door of their dream job. Don't sit back and wait for someone else to open a few doors for you. We've got a door is opening for you. Funny that they say that. A door is actually going to open for you. I've experienced saying in this respect, you actually got to walk through it. It showed up before. You didn't. Okay? And it's one of those things where it's like let's say, don't be afraid. If you haven't heard from somebody for a little while, call them back. Like if there's a job interview and they're like, you're a great candidate, we really would love you. I'll get back with you. And it takes longer than you think. Make yourself known. Don't get, no, I got it. I guess they didn't really want me. That kind of thing. And it's like, the determining factor could be that you reach back out to them. I'm just saying, like, now is not the time to sit idle to wait for things. That time is over. The universe works with you and not for you. The universe works with you, not for you. It's only going to match your own level of effort. I don't know who needs to hear this, but this card reminds you to not keep playing the victim. Take on the role of manifester. Yeah, to sum it up, is determining what you want and taking the steps towards having it. So I feel like Spirit's like, okay, they've heard what you said. I feel like you've kind of done a rough outline. Like, I know I've got to do this, so this needs to come first because I can't do X, Y, and Z without the other things. And so these are things. It's like you come back to a resolve. You went around the track a couple of times. You're like, yeah, no, I was right. I have to, this needs to happen. And so you're more solid and resolute on something. And you're like, okay, so this, and this. And Spirit's like, okie dokie. Now, nuances may look different. Like the fact that it's going to kind of arrive without looking very conventional, fitting in some kind of a mold that would appease your ego to go, okay, I got proof this is going to work. It's like, you're in the space. And maybe that's what you needed before. You needed proof and you didn't have it, so you didn't go for it. And so this time it's like, no, it's going to happen. You just have to be willing to walk through that door when it shows itself. New moon. We're going from one end to the other. I said you would. New moon. Blessing, fresh positivity. Fresh starts, innovative ideas, and new beginnings. It means that something new is on the way to you. But something new. Oh, sorry. Oh, something new is coming into your life to brighten things up. It's a card of optimism, positivity, um, and suggests the answer to your question is yes. I fucking shit you not, people. The answer to you can't see. I'm too short. The answer is yes. It says yes right there. The answer to your question is yes. I told you, Spirit. I said Spirit saying yes. You're like, I've laid this out. Are we on the same page? Are we good with this? And they're like, mm-hmm. How many times do you really get that? Come on now. Be open-minded about any invitations or opportunities that are extended to you at this time. Remember that success in any field is a collaboration between you and the universal energies of attraction. So don't turn it away. When Spirit presents it, don't turn it away this time because it doesn't look how you think it should. Remember the example of the scout who's looking for somebody for Hollywood. They don't be dressing off refuey and all kinds of stuff. Okay, don't poo-poo something. It says keep thoughts positive, believe in your magic. It suggests that a blessing is indeed on the way, but you must play your part by being open to receive it. I'm good. I'm tooting my own horn right now. Didn't need these because I've already said it. I like this and would love this picture. I'm just saying. Supermoon. Victory, fate, and reassurance. Okay. Success. It literally says is a card of achievement and success in your endeavors. The time of triumph is at hand. It could come in any area of your life. When it is present in a reading, you know that you are about to experience a kind of power surge that only comes from victory. I'm sorry. It's somebody, the Queen of Wands. I feel like somebody's in their Queen of Wands. Maintain steady progress towards your goals. Be sure not to rush ahead because of burnout. But there's a sense of fate and destiny to this card and to the achievements that it represents. Take it as a sign that you are on the right path and that you will eventually emerge triumphant from all your hard work. So I'm just saying, if you feel like you need to head towards something that's unconventional or that's conventional because you're like, that's where you're leaning and you've steered away from something. Oh my God, static, fuck. Because it was unconventional. It's like, that's not the answer. All right, let's go to 13. It says it's a card of warnings and being asked to proceed with caution. Be sure to watch your words. And be careful that you are not mixing with the wrong people or inviting troublesome characters into your life. That's the negative aspects of this are like amplified with nightshade and stuff like that. I'm so sorry. Don't get mad. In addition, if it comes up frequently, or it came up frequently twice, or is pulled as your personal card, it might mean that you are creating the problem and you are your own worst enemy. Didn't I say Spirit's like, yes, but will you? Because you didn't before. Albeit good reason. There's a lot of shit going on. And for those that were dealing with lower level energy work and things like that. Understandable. It was difficult, but it wasn't necessarily spirit that was saying no. And so they're like, we're going to, are you? Be sure to enlist the help of protection spells, harmony, and good luck. I think this also hits on the fact that obviously you need to be wise as you move forward with something so that people can't poo-poo on it, since you know that people are doing negative work and everything's like that. But at this very moment, okay, the biggest culprit that would keep you from this is just going to be you. It ain't going to be spirit. It's going to be you. Okay? Okay. All right. Write it in an hour. All right, I hope this found who was needing it. Obviously, somebody here just declared something and said, "Are you on board?" Like I feel like you have come up with this, and this, and they're like, "Okay," and you said it, you professed it, and now Spirit's like, you're like, "Spirit, you're going to do it," and they're like, "Sure." Are you? That was a fast yes. Alrighty. I'm going to pull just a few cards on the specifics to see what it might look like as it shows up, and then we'll be done. Because we're talking about something showing up that's unexpected, you just having to say yes, it's unconventional, all that kind of stuff. It does say news is coming, right? So yeah. I want it to pop out, guys. Bum, 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 bum. Oh shit, fire. I don't know why I get the energy of an older female. Because we got like the mama bear protective type of energy, but then we also have like the lily, which is all about like wisdom and things like that. Which would give me, it can also mean like an elderly person, like someone more wizened. So this feels like a very protective or wise older female. But we'll just say a wise, protective person energy, that kind of thing. Okay, so first came out the ship, which is, and when I say wise and older, it could be somebody more experienced, more in the know, in the loop of something also. This feels a little bit like it's got a business vibe. The ship in the Lorman has like a commerce type of idea, because usually that's what the ships did. They carried goods and services, like goods back and forth, things like that. The ship can be meaning like moving towards a goal, moving towards something. But I'm getting a very business-y, transactional type of vibe from this. And then we have the message, like the letter, and then we've got the sun, which makes all of this exceptionally powerful. And it's like somebody who's well established in something, in some type of business or commerce type of thing, reaching out. Okay, and there's a sense that somebody feels like whoever this is or whatever this is, I'm getting a who though, like whoever has like the knowledge, experience, the wisdom, the capacity that it's a sense of like a protective energy, but like powerful because the bear is very powerful. It's like this person has the capacity. They're reaching out. And it's like it's favorable is what I want to say, but somebody is a little bit concerned. It's bringing me back to that initial analogy I gave, where somebody is like, you say you're going to go to Hollywood, right? Whatever. And so a casting person sees you and they approach you. They're very wizened. They're in this business. They know what they're doing. And it's like, they actually have influence. You know, it's like a billionaire who doesn't dress like a billionaire. You're like, and to you, you're like, not exactly how you expected it to approach. So there's something about a person that might have more resources, influence, power, or like a position that could be beneficial, that somehow it connects with you and you don't see it as such. Like either you're not aware of who this person is and so you're leery of it, or you're not really certain you can trust it, because we got this, which is all about like something being revealed, but it's like the unknown factor, right? You're leery. You think that maybe there's something concerning because there's an unknown factor in this. Like you're not really sure. What are you? Okay. I mean, I feel like you not being sure is self-explanatory because it shows up in a way that you wouldn't have guessed. So it gives a fraud energy. Like you feel like it's a fraud. Like this isn't real. Okay, they're giving me an example in my life that happened when I first had this channel going, when I first started it, and I did all the live private readings. And this is very curious that they're saying this. I had somebody put a comment in my chat that was asking questions about why I would do readings for free. They literally said, I'm doing a documentary. I'm really curious. Why do you do your readings for free? And And I was like, what the fuck? And I literally blocked them. Because you got people coming in talking all kinds of weird and dumb shit all the time in the chat, and a lot of times it's trying to get you riled up, and that's the way that I took it. And for whatever reason, they're bringing that example up for me, right? Where like it's the whole idea of thinking somebody's got ill intent when they really don't, or thinking somebody's not who they say they are, and that kind of thing. And really, it's like needing to be open how something arrives. I wouldn't think that somebody actually doing a fucking documentary would be asking questions in my chat. But maybe they were. And I blocked them. See what I'm saying? Like conventionally, you would think there's other avenues that they would reach out. Like if you're a professional business, you don't just do that. But it's like if the only way to get in touch with somebody and to really reach them directly, especially when someone like myself doesn't have like at that time I didn't have a business email. That would have been the way to do it, right? Smart, Spirit. I hope that's not really actually for me and that I'm not going, did I miss something? Because now you got me fucking asking questions. And why is this still here? I don't know why that's there. But yeah, makes sense. Don't turn somebody away because it comes through unconventionally. Well, that makes a lot of sense, and now I'm feeling a little targeted here. Like, why are you bringing that up? I am wondering if I was really stupid at that moment. Nobody needs to answer that. Especially spirit. We're not going to answer that. So it's kind of that energy. They're reminding you. Somebody with a level of, I want to say they've got power behind them, experience, wisdom within a niche area or a particular business that you may align with, will reach out, and you're meant to, you're going to connect somehow. Because the message card is just like news coming through, messages coming through, and you just being open. It's like, it's okay, it's safe. We're highlighting this for you now, so you know that it's a yes. Like, you can, you know what I mean? Hey, Sally. Right in the middle of my reading, I'm like, are you calling me out? Did I fuck something up? I'm like, please don't do this in a collective read. But that would be so like them, wouldn't it? You mean like when you did this? Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks, Spirit. Appreciate that. Yeah, like whoever this person in position, they have the answer to you getting into your dream. Like the answer to achieving your dream. You've just, whatever the fuck you just outlined with spirit, and you said this needs to happen so this and this can go forward, and you're like, it's like you've been resolute. You made a decision, you chose something. You've even said, I get it, I see it objectively, like the Queen of Swords. Yeah. You're like, so yeah, these things have to happen. And it's like this, and it's like, yes. Like you've agreed, you've claimed something, you've also said, you know, you're not of two different minds. You're not on the fence. You know exactly what needs to happen in order for that to happen. Not in super details, but in general aspects, like the outline. And so whoever this is going to come forward and may connect with you. You may bump into them somewhere. They may email you out of nowhere and who the fuck is this? They may blah, 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 but I do still feel an energy of a person attached to it. And they connect with you in a way that you wouldn't think that they would. And it comes in. And yes, for the remainder of this reading, I'm going to be in my head. Okay? I'm right there with you. But yeah, Distant Horizons is the wishes coming true. It's the dream card. It's your desires. They hold the key. Doors are being unlocked now. They hold the fucking key. And they can usher in the change that you're needing. Welcome, Sally. Okay, let's see what's this about. Expand, please, Spirit. Okay, they're reiterating what they say. So to me, this is highlighting this. When they said conventional wisdom tells you not to trust something, conventional wisdom tells you it's not this, conventional wisdom needs to shut the fuck up, with all due respect, because they're saying this is the person, this person in this position of power, or this within this business, okay, is the one that can bring change. All right? You over here, false person means, I don't know, can I trust you? Because take a look. This is a masquerade ball. Are they who they say they are? Are they wearing a mask? Is this really real? Do I know who they really are? Right? And it's like the fear of committing to something like that. Entering into some type of an agreement or coming together with this person. This could be just even agreeing to talk to them, because the marriage card is also about the joining of forces. The much like the what is that dating one? The shit. What is it called, y'all? I'm over here. Oh my God, they're stealing shit from my brain. I hate when I look stupid and I'm trying to over here. Oh, it's going to be at the end. It's going to be at the end. Of course it would be. Courtship, for fuck's sake. Courtship. You know how courtship is like a chance encounter, a chance meeting. Two energies or two forces are brought together. Like they're going to want to get together. And you're not sure you can trust it. Whatever they're offering, you're not quite certain. You're like, right? But they're like, it's the real deal. It's the official person. It's the real deal. Because we got over here the wealthy man, right? But remember I told you, I gave the analogy of like how people who really aren't wealthy are the ones that look wealthy and wear the expensive shit and the certain labels and blah, 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 blah. And they like their stuff has to look a certain way. And it's like the billionaires out there walking around when they're in like just in their everyday. I know you've seen some of them on social media. I have. And I'm like, this is one of the top 1%ers. This dude, they got no reason. There's no need to flex. Like they love, you know what I'm saying? So this is an official person. See how this motherfucker looks right here? You wouldn't even guess he was this one. Isn't amazing what the setting, surroundings, and outfit can do. So you probably meet them not in their, I just heard natural habitat. Seriously. You don't necessarily meet them where it would look like you would meet them. So that means, if you're looking for a talent scout, or you're like, I want to be discovered, I want to go to Hollywood. I'm just using these exorbitant examples, guys, because it fits actually. And like, so this person is like, hey, like you're over in freaking North Carolina on a hike. You run into this group of people and you're having fun, and somebody's like, oh my God, I love your personality. You need to do X, Y, and Z, and they get, and you're like, the fuck? Like, is he real? Or is he just trying to get it in with me? Like, you know what I mean? Because he doesn't look, he's not in his natural habitat. You don't know. You can't tell. But Spirit's like, yeah, he's the real deal. This person is the official person, the person with the capacity to offer something in this role. So I think the way that something shows up to you, the way it's presented to you, is unconventional. And when you're looking at it, you're a little like, it's like somehow you would trust it more if he was in his suit, in his office, and you went in and met him like that, right? What are the fucking odds of that, though? You got to be open. Like the last spread said, you got to be open to how things can happen. You in fucking North Carolina. I'm sorry. Not anytime soon are you walking in to some executive's office in LA or Hollywood or wherever the fuck it is. I don't know. Feel me? And maybe it's not the person that would do hiring, but it's the casting, not even the casting director, but one of the casting crew, the people that works for the casting director who finds potential talent, and they're like, oh my God. And you're over here like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? Okay. And Spirit's like, I must smack you. You literally asked for this. You said you was ready. And you don't see the synchronicity that as soon as you say you're ready, this shows up? Okay. And might I add, whatever this is, they told us before, has showed up before. But you was all in chaos. And so you couldn't recognize it. So that should give you an inkling of how something will happen or of what they're talking about. That did bring clarity though, because like you get a little weary when you hear all the time it's not going to show how you expect, and you're like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, it can almost lead you to question yourself more when you're not supposed to be questioning yourself right now. You're supposed to be of one mind and execute things accordingly, and it's like you're not helping, spirit. But this did. I feel like it did. Okay. Well, alrighty then. No shit, Sally. Are you kidding me? Like a casting person that I have no clue what their title is? I'm like, not the casting director, but the people that work for the casting director, the casting crew, which I know there's cast and crew, which is not, I'm not saying the right term. I know I'm not, but whatever. You're in Australia. I have peeps there. LP, who is one of my mods, usually comes on. He's from Australia also. He has, like, I feel like a lot of people in Australia have an issue with their circadian rhythm. Just saying, because a lot of you motherfuckers like to wake up in the middle of the night and watch YouTube. I'm like, when do you sleep? Like, it's funny how many people do it. I'm like, okay. I know somebody in New Zealand. I'm gonna chat with them, and they fucking come on. And it'll be 4:50 in the morning. They're like, it's 4:50. I'm like, how do you survive? You know what I mean? Like, how are you okay? So I don't know. Anyhow, well, I hope you join for future readings. Thanks, I appreciate it. Join for future readings. Today was a good one. I love when we get very direct answers from spirit. I mean, there's no pussyfooting around this shit. It's like, you know how many times we ask and we're like, I don't get it. I don't know what you're saying. Today was a good day. So hopefully it reaches who it needs to reach. Join. I come on live periodically throughout the week. So, come join us again when you can't see. All right. You have a fantastic day. Hope everybody has a wonderful day. And I will see you again later this week.